movie lovers, welcome back to Top 10 Beyond the Screen. I am your host Joss, and before I jump into today's video, don't forget to follow our brand new channel at Tierlist Official. It is filled with hilarious content from all of our hosts on our entire sister channels. It is super fun. As for today's video, hang out with me until the end cause I will be responding to some of your comments. Today we are talking all about movies. Some movies manage to win the hearts of millions and also earn millions as soon as they hit theaters. But other iconic movies weren't built in an opening week. There are some movies that flopped and then took years to become the classics that they are today. Let's jump into today's list of top 10 bad movies that became cult classics. Starting off the list at number 10 is The Room, known to be one of the worst movies ever made. The billboard for the movie is a black and white photograph of Tommy Wiseau, the writer, producer, director, and star of the movie. He is known for his strange behavior and horrible acting skills. Yet somehow the worst movie ever made has become a classic. When it first came out in 2003, it played for 2 weeks and only earned $1,800. But he was determined for success and continued to spend $5,000 a week to have the billboard show. This is just one example of him wasting money on the movie that seemed to be going absolutely nowhere. He spent a total of $6 million on it. However, it might be the ridiculous billboard that gave him his big break. The billboard was up until 2008, and by that point it had everyone talking about it. The Room became a hit by word of mouth, and celebrities like Paul Rudd and Kristen Bell went to its monthly midnight showing. It became even bigger in 2017 when James Franco took on the role of Tommy Wiseau in the movie The Disaster Artist, showing how the movie The Room was actually made. It was actually a novel written by Tommy's best friend Greg Sestero and shows just how the world's worst film was made in the first place. The Disaster Artist was a box office success and earned a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes. Tommy Wiseau wasn't such a fool after all for believing in his movie. At number 9 is Blade Runner. Yes, that is right, the 1982 movie that had the most famous actor of the 1980s, Harrison Ford. To put it simply, the movie was just a box office bomb. It just about broke even when all of the marketing expenses were considered. It had a budget of $28 million and made back $33.8 million. With Harrison Ford's name on it, they were expecting to earn much more than that. Reports say that it was actually the VHS and DVD release that helped give the movie a name. The releases throughout the 1980s and 90s included the director's cut, and it finally found its audience. In 1993, the Library of Congress picked it up for the United States National Film Registry. As time has gone on, the movie found its place in history and is now considered to be one of the best sci-fi films of all time. And decades after its first box office bomb release, it was due for a sequel. Blade Runner 2049 came out in 2017, starring Ryan Gosling and also the one and only Harrison Ford. It made $259.2 million this time. That is more like it. Sweeping the number 8 spot is Donnie Darko. The 2001 movie is now known as a classic starring the beloved Jake Gyllenhaal, but at the time of its release it was known as a box office flop. The movie's budget was $6 million and it only earned back $1 million when it was released. The film stayed in theaters for 5 months in the US and only made $518,000 from it. It was overseas where people were more game to check out the movie. Regardless though, the movie wasn't even close to earning back its budget. However, the director's cut DVD release in the US is what helps the movie to grow and build some more fame. The movie also featured a soundtrack cover of Tears for Fears' Mad World, which has become just as loved as the movie itself. Now the movie is called a cult classic and the audience lives for seeing the adorable young Jake Gyllenhaal. In our number 7 spot is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the original movie that came out back in 1971. The movie was based on the classic novel by Roald Dahl, so it had a lot going for it because the story was already so loved. However, the movie did not captivate the audience, nor did it wow the critics like everyone thought it would. The New York Times called it tedious and stagey with little sparkle and precious little humor. Paramount Pictures was so disappointed in the movie earning just $1 million that the studio let go of the rights to the film in 1977. That's when Warner Brothers swooped in to purchase it for a fraction of what it cost to make. A $550,000 deal for a $3 million movie. Sounds like a pretty good deal to me. The new studio marketed the movie to television stations and soon people wanted it on repeated viewing, which is how it grew into the classic movie today. Of course, we can't forget how the story continued with Johnny Depp's remake in 2005, which earned a smokin' $475 million at the box office. Let's face it, the story is a classic. At number 6 we have the movie Heathers. The movie came out back in 1988 and starred Winona Ryder and Christian Slater and Shannon Doherty. It wasn't the most popular movie when it was first released, but now it is one of the most memorable movies from the 80s. It had a great cast lineup, but unfortunately it bombed at the box office. The movie only made $1.1 million in theaters, which was nothing compared to the $3 million budget that it had. It wasn't until the VHS release in 1989 did home rental and sales begin to transform the movie into a cult classic. Over the years it has had special edition DVD and Blu-ray versions released also to help skyrocket the film. Thank God for VHS and DVD. Some of these movies did not stand a chance without them. Halfway through, in spot number 5 is Showgirls. The 1995 movie starred Elizabeth Berkley, who moves to Las Vegas with the dream of becoming a showgirl. She ends up landing a job at a strip club, which was the biggest reason the movie took such a hit from critics. Critics tore the actress apart and said that they had nerve to put out something so racy, which they claimed they didn't understand the point of it. The flopped movie often fell on the actress's shoulders, and as a result it bombed at the box office. The movie had a budget of $45 million, but only earned $20.4 million back when it was first released. However, over some time the excessive toplessness captivated the movie into a category of "it's so bad that it's good." It cleaned up nicely on home video, which ended up bringing in over $100 million in rentals. They also started doing midnight screenings to help draw in a different audience. At number 4 is Rocky Horror Picture Show. With the success it has today, you probably think that it's impossible that it was actually a total flop in the beginning. It is now known to have the longest ever theatrical run, but it bombed during its initial release. The movie is based on the popular stage musical, which is why it had such high expectations for the theatrical release. Turns out the movie only made $21,245 in its opening weekend. The studio was so disappointed with the premiere that it actually pulled the movie from several other locations around the country. Most people thought that this was the end of the story. But one Fox advertising executive suggested that they start showing the movie at one popular midnight show at the Waverly Theater in New York City, which is actually where it became an instant hit. From there, the midnight showing spread to other theaters around the country. Within just 1 year, the movie went from a box office bomb to a cult sensation that is still going strong for more than 40 years. Alright guys, at number 3 we have The Wizard of Oz. You cannot make this stuff up, guys. This movie was legit a total miss before it became the classic that we know it as today. It's known as one of the most classic American movies that also brought us the iconic song Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and no, I will not sing it. The movie was the perfect example of good versus evil, and it's what inspired many Oz-related spin-offs like Broadway's play Wicked. But when it first came out back in 1939, it wasn't able to make back its $3 million budget. According to Collider, The Wizard of Oz ended up being a $1.1 million loss for the studio MGM. Christopher Flinch, who was the author of Rainbow: The Stormy Life of Judy Garland, said, "Fantasy is always a risk at the box office. The film had been enormously successful as a book, and it had also been a major stage hit, but previous attempts to bring it to the screen had been dismal failures. It ended up getting a yearly broadcast on CBS though in the 1950s and had a few other releases, which actually helped the movie start to gain some momentum, and that is what turned it into the cinematic icon for us today." Here we are, number 2, with the Halloween classic Hocus Pocus. When the movie opened in theaters in July 1993, it did not seem to put a spell on anyone. Critics slammed the movie, calling it, and I quote, "an unholy mess." They also said that the cast didn't have personalities, just behavior patterns. The Associated Press was the harshest one, saying, "The only real curses in this film will be yours as you walk up the aisle to leave." Ticket sales weren't any better than its reviews either. The weekend the movie came out, it debuted in 4th place but quickly dropped out of the top 10. It only earned $39.5 million, which was a huge disappointment for its studio, Walt Disney. It probably didn't help that it was facing competition against other movies like Free Willy and Jurassic Park. But over the past 2 decades, the movie has come back from the dead, enchanting old fans and luring new ones in. On DVD, streaming video, annual TV airings, and social media. The witches have become the highlight of Halloween costumes and also memes. Taking our number 1 spot is Fight Club. The movie is now a staple, but when it first released in 1999, it was a movie flop for 20th Century Fox. The movie was starring some of Hollywood's biggest stars, Brad Pitt and Edward Norton, which is why it was such a shock when it bombed at the box office. The movie had a budget of $63 million and only pulled in $37 million, which didn't include all all the money they spent trying to figure out how to market the dark thriller. Despite the original fail, the director David Fincher was determined to help Fight Club find success. He heavily invested in the movie's home release, including a specially packaged DVD with his commentary, which ended up shedding some light on the complicated movie. Turns out that it worked. The movie earned the top spot on Entertainment Weekly's list of 50 essential DVDs, and it quickly became one of the biggest selling DVDs in Fox's history. Okay guys, there is our list for today. Let me know which movie on this list is your favorite and give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Now let's finish this video off with some comment shoutouts. Thomas Sanders says, Fergie dating a 16-year-old when she was 23, she should be in jail. Famous people get away with everything. That is what I said. If that happened in today's day, I don't think it would have been so casual. Rusty Fish says, hey Jocelyn, how you doing? I am doing good. How are you, Rusty Fish? Sophia Schulfer says, I like the sweatshirt you're wearing. I've seen Friends so many times. I like this channel. I got my wisdom teeth out recently and it helps me to watch your channel. Thanks for being awesome. This is probably the sweetest thing I've ever read. I am obsessed with the show Friends and I'm wishing you the quickest recovery possible. Sending you all the positive vibes. Jason Bean says, yeah, method acting. My ex-wife was the lead role in Key for Two at Carolwood Playhouse, in which she played the mistress of two men. You know what happened. It took her a few months to admit it to me. I should have left her then. Well, that takes method acting to a whole other level. I am so sorry that that happened to you. On that note, I am getting out of here. Make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already. I'm your host Joss, and I'll see you next time.